I think my favorite part of being in a group was having strangers turn into friends and getting to like see that transformation happen and feel like these people who I had nothing in common with now I feel like a part of a group and I feel like I belong in this group and they know me, which was very sweet.
My favorite part of being in a group was meeting actually two fellow Virginians, and Jack and Catherine here, which is pretty awesome. So to know we had that connection.
Wait, you guys didn't know each other?
No, we didn't. But I would say the last thing as well too is that I actually really enjoyed the teaching and the learning. I mean, I thought that Ben and Lindsay did a great job. I actually felt like I was in a master class, session, so that's what kind of kept me motivated and kept going as well.
I remember the first time I walked in, I was really nervous because I didn't know anybody. But once I started talking to people, I was like, okay, you're a human.
For me, just because of the pandemic, there's not been a lot of social situations where I've been able to meet new people. So to be able to experience that kind of excited butterflies in your stomach, meeting new people, I felt like I was yearning for that over the past year and a half.
Yeah, plus we had food.
It
was
that's
great
true.
to have. The first 20-30 minutes of group was eating with people.
Food was the best part. I agree with you. It does bring community together.
Going into week one and being so nervous, and then by the end of it, really enjoying spending time with these people and just getting to like sit around a bonfire and talk to them and hang out was just really sweet to see that stark difference between the two.
It was fun to have that as the foundation, but then you start to see people on Sundays, then you go to a Serve the City event and you get to start to build a web of connections versus just, I show up to group on Monday night at 7 p.m. and these are the people that I see there.
Yeah. And I always enjoy the journey as well too. When you see folks kind of come in, week one, and then now they start to open up. You always have a connection point week over week and kind of saying like, hey, I was struggling with this, but I overcame that, in week 12.
I think those questions like really dig deep, and it's very emotional and very, it dug deep within me. Mm-hmm. So by week 12, getting to know people and knowing their history and knowing their background really touched my heart, and it was like relatable, and by week 12 we were able to we served together at your event. What was it called?
Mobilize Love.
Yes, Mobilize Love. Being able to go there and serve together for our community, that was a cherry on top. What is one way the group helped you grow in your faith?
Yeah, so I think for me, the journey I've kind of been on, I don't think there's any more important question or more important kind of journey that we're all on is to be closer to God. And as part of that is knowing, what God's purpose and significance is for you and, your life. Those topics kept on coming up. I learned so much from the group that kind of helped in my spiritual walk as well too. And that's something that was just kind of top of mind for me, especially during a pandemic COVID period, trying to figure out what's the meaning, what's your purpose.
I remember a conversation with you specifically about, I would say the pandemic was a very discouraging time for me in my faith, and then being able to have the connection with you where the pandemic had been such a period of growth and encouragement was just a reminder to me of God's goodness.
As Lindsay would pray at the end and ask if anyone had things that they needed prayer for, I feel like that was just cool to get to pray for each other and gave opportunity to celebrate with each other and walk through hard things with each other throughout the 12 weeks.
I felt supported in knowing that there was a group of people who knew that I existed and would notice if I was not there and would be able to have some sense of attachment and belonging to a specific place.
Question I would ask is that, if somebody was, on the sidelines right now, sitting at home, thinking about whether or not they should join a group or not, what would you say to encourage them to join one of those small groups?
I think that you'd be missing out if you don't. We would be fooling ourselves to think that we could grow in absence of community. And so find that group of people and get in the game.
To meet people like us, strangers turned into friends, and we need each other to grow in our faith.
There's not much of a downside. I believe in growing in our faith, and what's a better way to do that than meeting routinely with people who are also trying to do the same thing and who care about each other.
When I moved to San Francisco, but just in general, anytime I go to a new city, one of my favorite things to do is actually ride public transportation. I feel like doing that allows you to get the true pulse of a city and kind of be with the people, if that makes sense. And so I kind of equate it to joining a group, right? Where, you can sit in church every Sunday, that's great, but to get the true heartbeat and the pulse of Epic in the community is in those small groups, is during those like one-on-one interactions. And so, I would tell somebody to hop on the bus, hop with a small group, kind of go out there and just kind of see, how this community is so vibrant and so live, especially in these groups as well too. So